Alright, hey guys, back here again with another video, and this would be a PSP collection for 2022. I have a total of 48 games overall, and I just wanted to showcase each and every one of them. I might have a couple of thoughts in them, and some opinions, but yeah, this will just be an overview of what I currently own for this handheld system. So, first game here is the Metal Gear Acid. This is a card type strategy game. When I first played it, I didn't really enjoy it as much. I got this just because it was from the Metal Gear universe, so I wanted to give it a try. Eventually I'll try this again, but I love card games, but I think I kind of went in this blindly, not knowing what this game actually was back in the day. Just because it was like a Metal Gear, I kind of thought it was just like the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, so got that. Ape Escape on the Loose. And some of the cartridges or the cases do have like the sticker that I haven't really taken out, but it's kind of nice to know how much you paid for it back in the day. This came from Savers for like $6. I think this is how much it's still worth, you know, as of today, or as of right now. Jeanne d'Arc. It's a RPG. Haven't really played this as much. I got this at my local swap meet for like $5. Valkyrie Chronicles 2. I played the first one on the Sony PS3 or the PS3 console. I played it and beat it. I wanted to know if they had a part 2, but it was on the PSP, so I got it just for that reason. I haven't played this one, but I did also play the third one as well, so give this a try sometime in the later future. Platypus, if I'm pronouncing that name right, this is a side-scrolling clay animation shooter. It looked interesting, so I had to get it for like $4.99 at my local Goodwill. And this one's also, I think the majority of my collection is complete. There's like 1 or 2 games that don't have the manual with it. SNK Arcade Classics Volume 1. A really good compilation. It has like 16 games, like your Metal Slugs, Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, but they don't have Volume 2 for some reason. I know this was also ported on the PS2 as well, but I kind of think they stopped at Volume 1. But overall, really good set. Pretty much covers the basics of you know, SNK in general. Now this game, really enjoyed this game. So again, as I mentioned before, for like Metal Gear Solid Acid, this one is like your, you know, traditional, you know, Metal Gear Solid game. The controls are a little bit kind of hard to maneuver regarding to like crouching and like moving and stuff with the overall analog stick, and these are kind of not responsive, or it could be like my PSP is being kind of faulty. But again, I really like this game overall. I think this is kind of a continuation of Snake Eater, just because there are certain recurring characters that you see from that game into here. I know there's a collector's edition. I was kind of debating on actually getting the collector's edition just because it has the art book with it, but eventually I might. But I'm really still happy to have this copy. This game here, Generation of Chaos, I got this from the swap meet a while back. This is a NIS America title, you know, Japanese RPG. But from the swap meet, there's actually a couple of games from, like, there was like this vendor for some reason that had like a couple of PSP games from NIS America, and this person doesn't really look like he plays video games. That's just me just speculating and stuff, but he was selling these games fairly cheap, like $5 to $10 in my opinion. I think it was a good idea back in the day, so I pretty much got all of it. So in the collection that you see here, you might see a lot of, you know, somewhat obscure, you know, Japanese RPGs. Sadly to say that I haven't really played any of them just yet. God Eater Burst. This is kind of like a ongoing series. I know there's one for the PS3 and the PS4. So I think this is the first one. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but God Eater Burst. Metal Slug Anthologies, again with the SNK Arcade Classics Volume 1. Really good compilation of the series. So for this one, it has the first one up until 6. I love the artwork. So I got Castlevania here, but the game is actually on my PSP. But this one, I got this loose, so it doesn't have the case. So usually if I were to play like a game and stuff, this goes to like different cases. I probably could find the empty case on eBay fairly cheap if I looked hard enough, but as of right now, that's what I'm doing right now at the moment. But again, really good compilation. I do have the limited run special edition as well, just to play it on my TV. But to have it portable as well is really cool. Another great compilation too as well, Power Stone Collection. The PSP was, releasing a lot of good, re-releases of like old games and putting them into like one UMD disc. Really enjoyed that concept. So this has Power Stone 1 and Power Stone 2. I think you could get the Dreamcast versions for it fairly cheap. I think they're still going for around like 30 to 40 bucks last I checked. But again, really good game. Party style brawling type game. The only thing is I think it does have Wi-Fi. I guess you can play this Wi-Fi actually, but you can play with other people as well. I'm not too sure if this is still enabled to play it with other people if they have the same copy, because there's like a Wi-Fi compatible ad hoc mode, but I'm not too sure if this is still running. So, but again, really good game to play around with. Wipeout Pure. This is just a F-Zero, type game. Can't really say much about this. Monster Hunter Freedom. This was actually my first introduction of the Monster Hunter series. Just because I wanted to try it out. I know for the PS2 and maybe on the PC. I think it was on the PC as well. I just wanted to see how this game was. I just overall really like the aesthetic of the game with like the armor, the dragons or the creatures, and the overall world. It's fun to play it with other people. If you try to play it solo, you tend to die a lot and you tend to lose a lot of time because each mission it's timed and you have to capture the monster, you have to follow the monsters and stuff. But I do enjoy it, time to time. It's just playing it by yourself kind of, isn't really that fun. But again, the armor and like the customization is really awesome. The overall aesthetic is A+, in my opinion. Sonic Rivals is like a greatest hits version. This one's not complete. Guitar Man Lives or Lives. This is a rhythm style game. I'm not too sure if anyone has heard about this game before. I do remember that this was also released on the PlayStation 2 as well. As I said before, this is kind of like a rhythm style game where you play as this like rock hero and you're like battling aliens. So really obscure concept, but a really fun game. To me, it's kind of like a learning curve just because I really suck at rhythm style games, but I really like the music. It's quirky, it's weird and stuff, and that kind of appeals to me for that reason. Next here is Twisted Metal Head On. Really enjoyed the Twisted Metal series on the PS1 and also on the PS2. So again, this is kind of a no-brainer just to have it on, a portable console. Paid like $5.99 for this at my Savers. And it's complete. So same thing with the Guitar Man. This is another rhythm style game where you play as a DJ and you pretty much have like this DJ board and you're like clicking like certain buttons at at a certain time and stuff. Music's really interesting too. A lot of, I guess, anime, techno, electronic music and stuff. again, for me, for like rhythm style games, it's a kind of a learning curve just because I have to constantly play the game to actually get a better handling on like the timing and the button presses. So again, really enjoy it. I played on the easy mode. So next game here is Dissidia. This is like Super Smash Bros. With Final Fantasy characters. I think this is the definitive version. I know that there was a first Dissidia, but this one has the original story and extra characters as well. So I just went with the definitive edition of it. There was also a game for the PS4, but I heard that the reviews weren't really that great for some reason. I personally haven't played it, so I might see if I'm able to get like a cheap copy of it for the PS4. The Warriors, a great port for the PS2. Really enjoyed the game. This is from Rockstar. Also, if you haven't seen the movie The Warriors, I would advise for you to watch it. It's a really good movie in my opinion. For this game, you know, kind of it doesn't really it doesn't really follow the movie. It's kind of like a standalone, if that makes any sense. But again, really fun beat 'em up game from Rockstar. So if you see it, you know, purchase it, you know, get it. I think it's cheap as well. It's like 20 bucks. So it's not that rare, but overall really fun to play. Crisis Core, haven't really played it. Just wanted to add it to the collection because it was cheap. It was like $8. I think this was when the PSP was finally dying down and they weren't really putting any more games. So GameStop was like clearancing out all of their PSP games. So I went in time to time and tried to pick up the games that, you know, I wanted to try or add to the collection. So Crisis Core. This game it's kind of weird just because how the front cover is. Brave Story, the new Traveler. Can't really say much about this game. Again, I think this came from GameStop, and they were just clearancing out all of their PSP games. Another clearance game, The Third Birthday. It says $29.99, but I don't think I paid $29.99 for this because it was used. But this is kind of like a spin-off series. Same thing with Crisis Core of the Final Fantasy, you know, series. Next game here is Shin Megami Tensei Persona, the first one. I know there was a special edition or like a collector's edition. I think it has like the strategy guide and like a CD, I think, but I purchased a standalone copy. I think at GameStop, this is what they had overall. Me and my Katamari. I think this game is fairly popular. I think everyone knows what Katamari is. This was on the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and I think on the PS4. But again, a really fun game, quirky, really funny. The overall premise is for you to collect like various items like cars, people, dogs, chickens, you name it, and create like worlds out of it. So a lot of playtime, and I really like the soundtrack. Kind of has like this like jazz type vibe to it. Some of the tracks have like, you know, like some hard rock or pop rock or something, but again, really, you know, really fun and quirky type game. I'm probably going to show these together just because I really like how it's displayed. So we have the Star Ocean series. So we got First Departure and Second Evolution. So as you can see here, if you were to buy it in, you know, if you were to buy these together, it creates like a world. Same thing, like in the back, it shows like the protagonist. I think I got this from the swap meet a while back. I think there was actually a video of me actually purchasing these games from this vendor. I think it was like during like Valentine's Day, which is like the most randomest day ever, but it was like on a Saturday or a Sunday. And that's when I used to go to the swap meet, is usually on the weekends, around those 2 days. But yeah, I got these fairly cheap. I enjoyed the PlayStation 2 version. I think there was also a PlayStation 3, but I don't think I have that. But really enjoyed the first one. Haven't played these two just yet, but really nice addition to the collection. So next game here is Fat Princess Fistful of Cake. The price sticker was from buybacks. I think it was back in 2014. Again, I got this fairly cheap for like $5. Back then I was just trying to accumulate as many PSP game titles as possible. That looks interesting in my opinion. Kingdom of Paradise. This was, I think, one of the release titles for the PSP when it first came out. There was like Grand Theft Auto in this game and like some other like third-person shooter game. I think it's called like Infection or Infected. But really enjoy this. The cover art, in my opinion, I'm not really a fan of. They kind of Americanized it. I think comparing to like the other covers, haven't really checked, but usually from Europe or Japan, the cover art is really great. But for America, we kind of have like this generic, like looking, front cover. But overall, gameplay is really good. Kind of has like some Chinese subculture to it. There's like certain types of like there's like different elements like earth, wind, fire, or wind, kind of like Avatar or something. But again, it's a really solid game, really solid adventure type game. When I remember playing this game, you could pretty much get this game fairly cheap. It's not really that rare, but again, really solid title, really awesome game to play. When I first had my PSP, I did have Grand Theft Auto and I had this. I played this more than Grand Theft Auto, just because the story was really great. So, got that. This is the only import game that I got. This is like a Naruto Shippuden or Naruto Storm fighting game. I got this at Fry's Electronics. The Fry's Electronics in my place in Las Vegas closed down, I think this year or last year. But they were selling import games, and this was actually one of the games that I picked up back in the day. Really fun fighting game. This is kind of like my first introduction. Back in the day, I didn't know what Naruto was, but when Cartoon Network was showing the first season or the first series, I kind of got hooked. But it comes with like a VR or some sort of card. I'm not too sure what this is for, but I just kept it. But again, really interesting, fighting game, and kind of like my first introduction of the Naruto series. So, can't pronounce this, but I know it's Naruto. So, I'm gonna show these together as well. This is the Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins and the Capcom Classic Collection. So this is kind of like a remake of the original Ghosts and Goblins game. Like high resolution, and they probably added a couple of stuff here, but when I first played it, it looked the same. It looked like a updated port of like the NES or Super Nintendo. And this one is just a compilation. I really like compilations just because for the price, you're pretty much getting a lot of value with it. I think this has like Street Fighter 1948, and I think this is like trying to figure out what this one is, but this looks like Dungeons and Dragons or King of Dragons. I'm not too sure, but it's like a side-scrolling adventure type game. I think I do own this for the Super Nintendo, but I could be wrong. But again, regardless of that, the compilations, I really enjoy the compilation games where you have like 14 or 15 games in one for dirt cheap, and it's really cool to play the classics as well. So, got that. Valkyrie Profile Lenneth. Couldn't afford the first one for the PS1. Eventually I will. I'll just pretty much purchase it sometime soon, but I got that just for that reason. And I got this fairly cheap too. It's kind of damaged, but this is kind of I think this is the remake of the original one, and this is still going for like $24-25. So to have it handheld, it's awesome, but eventually I do want to have the original copy of this. So God of War, Chains of Olympus, fairly well-known game. Paid like $4.99 for this at my local Goodwill. Gonna put these two together, Valhalla Knights 1 and 2. Can't really say much about these games. I got these fairly cheap at my local swap meet. But it's nice to have the complete set for it. As I mentioned before, let me see if I could pull up the other titles as well. Regarding to like the NIS collection, I think that's it for the two. Yeah. So these two other games too. I got this from like this seller that I got from the other one. The other NIS somewhere. There's like a pile back here that's kind of a mess, but I got these fairly cheap from this vendor that didn't, like, just by looking at him, he didn't really, it doesn't look like that he plays video games. I think he got these from like a storage locker or something. But I got these fairly cheap. So haven't played it, but you know, it looks interesting and obscure. And I don't see these as often, so I just had to pick them up for that reason. We got Persona 3 Portable, again for the first Persona game. Let me see if I could find it. I think these two has the like the collector's edition, but I think I got this also. I think I got this from GameStop as well, and it was just a standalone copy, which I was fine with. So got that. Daxter. So this is kind of like Jak and Daxter, but Daxter has like its own game. And paid $4.99 for this at my little Goodwill. I said GameStop, but Goodwill. Neverland Card Battles. This came from GameStop when they were clearancing out their games. Prinny. This is actually from the Disgaea series. And I paid like $11 for it, and still kept the receipt for it, so don't know why, but it's there. But that, another Naruto Ultimate Ninja game, again same concept, different characters, $4.99. I've noticed with like Goodwill and Savers back in the day, their base price for games or media is like $5. This game here, Shadow of Destiny, a really awesome, you know, mystery, kind of horror type game-ish. This was ported on the PS2, I think, yeah, on the PlayStation 2. I used to rent this game back when Hollywood Videos was still up and running. Really cool concept. As a main character, I think you actually die, and you get resurrected, and you have powers to, like, they give you like a power to like reverse time or travel time. So there's puzzles where you have to go from the past, present, and the future, and you have to chronicle each time and stuff, just because you have to prevent like help out prevent death or something, in my opinion. It's been a long time, so my memory of this is kind of foggy, but I remember I spent a lot of times re-renting this game for the PlayStation 2 a lot, just to try to beat it. And when I first saw this game in the swap meet for like $15 at my local video game, like, you know, vendor's booth, I guess, I just had to pick it up just for the nostalgia, and it's kind of cool to have it portable as well, so I got that. Guilty Gear Judgment, Guilty Gear game. I enjoyed the PlayStation 2. The PSP, you know, the same, you know, fairly solid title. Again, it's fairly technical too as well, just because the button moves and stuff is kind of awkward and stuff. Just when you try to do like a certain special combo and stuff, this kind of makes it hard to like move the D-pad for some reason. Like it's kind of sticks, or the buttons don't register for some reason. But again, pretty fun game. Almost done. I got like 4 more games. Proper the Rapper. really awesome rhythm style games. I got this for like $10 at the swap meet. This one's not complete, but really enjoyed it a lot. The music is really funny. Pretty much you have to match the the circle, square, triangle buttons and stuff. But again, really awesome game. I think the original game is kind of expensive, but if you're able to get it for the PSP, it's a really cool port. Next here is Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. So again, when I first got the PSP, this was actually one of the games that I got. Just because it's like Grand Theft Auto, portable. You pretty much have like Liberty City, you can take it with you basically. It's really fun. Really good concept. I know that there was like another one, Vice City Stories, but really enjoyed this. I played the multiplayer with a couple of friends. It was really fun. It's complete as well. Next here is Gladiator Begins. Really interesting fighting game. This is I'm not too sure if anyone hasn't heard about this game, but I spent a lot of hours like playing this game overall, customizing my characters and stuff. You pretty much start off with like really poor gear, but as you progress through the game or in the tournament, you could actually take your enemy's gear and use it for the next, the next battle basically. The overall like mechanics of this game, so if I remember this, it's been a minute, like each button has like, this is like your left swing, right swing, top swing, bottom swing, and then like obviously like you got like your guards or your counters and the trigger buttons. So I think that's what I remember, but it's been a long time since I played this game, but I remember I had some really good memories playing this game overall. So if you see it, I would highly pick this up. You don't really see games like this as much. And lastly, Soul Calibur Broken Destiny. Just Soul Calibur. It has Kratos with it. If you guys remember back in the day when Soul Calibur was like porting it for like the Xbox, GameCube, they had like different like characters for it. Where like GameCube they had Link, PlayStation they had Heihachi from Tekken. For Xbox they had Spawn, and then for the PSP they had Kratos. So cool concept. Haven't played this as much, but I played the Soul Calibur series on the PlayStation 2. But yeah, overall that's pretty much it. Fairly long video, like almost like 30 minutes. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this, of my rambles and stuff of like each of the games that I've owned. But yeah, I'll try to post another video sometime soon. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.